blacklisting. What is blacklisting? It's a term in the Philippines that's used for an undesirable, somebody that's compromised their visa requirements, or they've broken the law, or they've come into dispute with the government, or they've turned around and started doing or saying things not kind about the Philippine people or the Philippine flag or what's going on in the Philippines. There's a lot of foreigners that get pulled over and they get spoken to regarding YouTube channels, or not paying their tax, or doing deals, or doing things that are not right, or legally not right, regarding property and the terms, as I said, the terms of their visas. So if you're a tourist visa, you're not allowed to work. So if you're caught working, then you're in contravention. Yeah, you're in contravention of your conditions of your visa, which means you can be investigated, and if the government find, or the BIR, or the Bureau of Immigration, or the tax man, or finds that you're working and you're not paying tax, they can turn around and revoke your visa, and then turn around and deport you, and then put you onto this thing called the blacklist, which means you don't come back into the Philippines, you don't turn around and get another visa, you don't turn around and enter, and all your assets and the money you've got in the banks in here are all frozen, and they're returned to the government. If you're on a ballot bayan, you have visa restrictions, and you have things that you can and you cannot do. So bringing in boxes, say on a ballot bayan, and your packages are turning up and they got contraband in your boxes, or you've got stuff that's in those boxes that are not supposed to be there, and you've not declared them when they're actually coming in as ballot bayan, then that could turn around and put you into a situation with the Bureau of Immigration, but it also turns around and puts you into the investigation with the tax man, because you're importing goods in your ballot bayan that you turn around and you should be declaring on the import list that's coming in. Or if you're coming into the country and you're traveling with your partner and you're carrying more than $12,000, you're carrying $25,000 in cash in your pocket, that's contrary to your entry visa into the Philippines, and then that will turn around and get you into hot water, and then that will then turn around and process you into this blacklist, and all they do is they stamp it and then don't renew anything. Or you could turn around and you could be in a heated discussion with a Filipino, or you could end up getting into a fight or a confrontation with a Filipino, or you could have a car accident and you come out and you start effing and blinding, and you start swinging and you start fighting, and that's contrary, because you're not allowed to do that. Or you turn around and see the Philippine flag and you turn around and you say something that's derogatory, that could be reported. So there are lots of little anomalies that can turn around and put you on the radar. So for a tourist visa, there are a lot of people here that run YouTube channels like mine. I do my YouTube channel, but I'm registered to pay TIN. I go down, tax identification number, I have to do that, and every year I have to turn around and go down there and I have to turn around and put it in. I don't earn a lot from YouTube. There are other people that earn lots of money, and they come here and they spend 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and then they don't declare and they don't pay the tax, or they don't register themselves with the BI. Like I said the other day, you need to go to the BI and register that you're a foreigner in the Philippines, and they'll check your paperwork, and they'll check your history, and they'll check whether you've paid tax. They'll check when you came into the country, and when you're going to be leaving the country. And if you get into the country and you turn around and extend your visa and you're still working, you're still doing stuff, there'll be an investigation and understand it. If you're running a YouTube channel and you're turning around and saying that you're running it as a charity for a church, you need to have all the paperwork to turn around and prove that, i.e. like there was a couple on Bohol, and they got caught out because they said they were giving all this money away as charity on their YouTube channel. But what they were doing was they were taking their expenses out of that money that was being donated, which is a salary, but they weren't paying tax on it. And the BIR got involved in it, and the revenue immigration got involved in it, and they wanted to deport them. But the guy that was doing it couldn't be deported elsewhere because Brits didn't want him and the Americans didn't want him. So you have to understand there are lots and lots of things that can turn around and get you on to the blacklist. So you need to turn around, keep a clean nose, keep your head down, and don't upset anybody. You can turn around and talk about things, but don't give yourself a rod for your own back that's going to turn around and cause you problems. You know, I've looked at this blacklist. It's a great thing. It works. It's a deterrent for a lot of people. But there was a Canadian about a month ago whose girlfriend reported him to the BI because they'd split up. He was a Canadian. He was working in social media, and he had full-time jobs going here, but he was on a tourist visa. So they deported him, they blacklisted him, they found she was correct, and anybody can turn around and report you. Anybody can turn around and go down the BIR and turn around and say, this person's doing that. You then need to prove that you're not doing that. And that is where it becomes really, really difficult, because, you know, you need to put your whole life on hold while you turn around and talk to the local government officials and the local police and the local immigration and the local taxman and the local barangay and the local government officials to turn around and answer all their questions. And if they're not happy with what they find, then you will be deported and you will be put on the blacklist. And the blacklist means you don't get a visa into the Philippines and you don't come back. And all your assets that you did have here stay here. They don't go with you. They keep them here to pay for the investigation and everything else that's gone on, to turn around and see, were you doing stuff that wasn't right? Were you breaking the law as a foreigner? So keep your head down, keep your nose clean, don't get involved in anything that's going to give you issues. Don't put yourself in a predicament where it affects your livelihood and your life. Just enjoy it, and that's what you need to turn around and do. Too many people I've seen, and over the years I've seen maybe 15 to 20 people, not just Americans, not just Brits, but foreigners, that's Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, Canadians, French, German, and they've all got themselves into situations, and they've all been deported, and they've all been put on the blacklist. When you're on the blacklist, you can't get off of it. Yeah, hey, there's no recourse. It's stamped, your name's there, unless you get your passport reissued in your country of origin and you have a different ID and a different name, and then you come back. That might work. But anyway, from a very calm night, look, you can hear the bats in the background making those funny noises. 3rd of January. You hear that? It's flying over there. Fruit bats, big things, look like seagulls. So, oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. Anyway, dogs are out. Take care, look after yourselves, from a very dark night on the balcony in Davao, because My light's gone. Take care.